Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another special episode of Herschel Talkers. We're back from the off season. I just want to say 2021 national champs. Got my boy Hube on here, oldie but a goodie guest from last year. How we doing today?
I'm good, man. Just living the dream.
Exactly. How's it feel to say returning champs? That's great, right? 41 years.
It's good, man. I'm glad that I don't have to hear anything about Bama. I didn't have to hear about Bama all season. Well, actually, still did, but you know, not another 4 years or whatever the hell they were talking about.
Hashtag
Whatever you got
19.
to. Yeah, you ain't got to worry about none of that stuff.
Gotcha. All right, we'll jump right into it. Did want to say we have a special sponsor this year. Viva Seltzer sent over some merch for us. Well, I guess you call it samples. Viva Tequila. Also follow on Instagram. Here's our website, Viva Tequila Seltzer. So yeah, great sponsor of the show. And please follow them if you can. We're going to jump right into it. Wanted to go over the Georgia-Oregon matchup. Number 11 Georgia against number 3 Georgia against number 11 Oregon. Point spread is 17. It's going to be in Mercedes-Benz. I know Oregon's got to go 2,500 miles. They got former DC Dan Lanning as the head coach. Also got Bo Nix transferring from Auburn. Should be a really great matchup. That's at 3:30 on ABC. Just want to get your thoughts on that, Hugh. See what you thought about it.
Bo picks. So, Bo is who he is. What did Dennis Green say? They were who we thought they were. I definitely don't see Oregon win this game. I was talking to my boys over the weekend. I think I could see it in a game 30-13, 27-10. Like Kirby's not going to pour it on Dan,
Right.
unless there's some animosity that we don't know about. Oregon's got some players. But at the end of the day, the law of attrition, right? So if any of their top round players go down, it could be bad for them. You got to worry about Noah. Noah's cool. He's a good player. I think the receivers got some length and some speed. So I'll be interested to see how our secondary holds up. I think early in the season, you got probably 3 new starters or 3 new full-time starters. So you might see some busts. But, I don't think the game is going to be close past the second quarter.
Yeah, how about them? I guess and then Justin Flo, is it Flo? He's pretty good too. I know we went after him too. He's one of I guess they're pretty loaded at linebacker, right? Or from what you've seen.
I don't know about Flo. He didn't really do a lot his freshman year, and last year I think he got injured. So we'll see. He's a lot of potential, a lot of hype. But Sewell's a real deal. I think there's a reason why we focus on him in that recruitment versus Flo. I think that's improvement in putting in how their careers have panned out so far.
Right. Yeah, looking at the matchups, I know Georgia lost 15 guys in the draft. I think maybe 28 total players. How about on the defensive side of the ball? I know they lost a whole lot. What would you like to see on the depth chart, and who you like? Maybe some trouble spots, or what are you focused on? Or
I know this is probably going to get a lot of reactions, especially from some Hube haters on 247. I want to see Ben Jackson make a play on the ball. As a former walk-on safety in college, I think I know a little bit about DB play, just a little bit. Coach high school football also. I haven't seen the kid make a play on the ball yet.
Right.
And I know, Kirby and Champ know more about DB play than I probably ever will. It ain't probably, more than likely. But at the same time, kid's not dynamic. There's a reason they're trying to get starts ready. There's a reason they're trying to recruit certain types of safeties. We've been deficient at that position. We always had one really big guy and a really young guy. And so this year, safety is kind of a question mark for me just because neither one of those guys back there are this dynamic player. You had Richie. Richie was a ball hawk. Say what you want about his 40 time or, his measurables. He made plays on the ball. Team was an enforcer. Clearly the 4.37 speed at the combine showed up on the field. So, we've had some guys that are draftable back there the last 2 years. This year, I don't know that we have anybody that's draftable. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm a little concerned there. I'm excited to see what Kamari can do, and interested to see who finishes the season at star, but how they roll out star. Javon Bullard's a dynamic kid, but he's a 3-star coming out, so that could be one of those sleeper evals like a Monty Rice or a Jordan Davis or something like that. That pans out, and you're like, oh, this kid was actually elite, because he got recruited during COVID, so he probably didn't get to see like he should have been seen. I'm interested to see like how the D line plays out, because like I think we had some freaks on the front in the front seven last year. I don't know that we were as freaky this year. You know what I'm saying? Before he had his legal situation, you had Adam Anderson, you had Noah Smith, you had Jacoby, you had Channing, you had Quay, you had Jordan Davis, who runs 4.78 at 350 pounds. You got Devontae Wyatt, who runs 4.78 or 4.77 at 305 pounds. You got Trayvon running 4.51 at 270 pounds. You had some dynamic big guys and speed demons at the linebacker position. This year, you got Bill, who led the team in sacks quietly. Still got Nolan, but we don't know what we got behind him, right? At linebacker, you got a lot of unproven. You got like a lot of potential with Pop. Trez has been hurt his entire career, but he's more athletic version of Dean probably.
Okay.
Sawed off guy, but instincts and speed, right? But then you got a bunch of young pups behind that really haven't played a lot, so you don't really know what you got until the game starts, right? So I can see there being some mishaps, not some mishaps, but some miscommunication, some missed assignments.
Right.
Our game jitters is a big game in Atlanta, in Ben's. So Oregon might pop one, but I think guys will settle down. You practice against the best of the best. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how the defense plays out. I think it'll be interesting to see how the kid from my hometown, from my high school, Michael, see what he does, how much he plays.
Really?
Everybody's hyping him up.
That's great.
Yep, same high school, Hardaway High. We'll see if they're hyping him up a lot the last few months, but especially the last week or so. So we'll see. And he's Trayvon Walker clone, all these other things. Interested to see how Tyrion, I don't know how to say it, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins or kid. They saying this kid's running 4.7 at 290 pounds.
Wow.
You got Jalen, of course. So, we got some guys. It's a lot of unproven. But I think up front, we're probably a little bit more, we probably are more athletic. But I think we're also so inexperienced, and we don't have those freaks. Like, I think we're more athletic on the front lines, but we don't have those freaks like Adam Anderson, Quay Walker, or Channing Tindall, or Jordan Davis. Like, I think those guys had some limitations just from like Adams looked like he just couldn't gain weight, right? Quay, he's a big dude, but he's not the most fluid of people, right? Same thing with Channing, speed demon, not the most fluid guy. Jordan's 350. He can't run all game. That was showed up in the SEC championship game. But I think it'll be interesting to just see how this stuff plays out, because there are going to be some more athletic guys like Logue, Zion Logue, Ian Dawkins, Montel up there on the front.
Right. Yeah, I agree with all that. Gave a good breakdown of that. Yeah, I guess just on the other side of the ball, offensive, it looks like I've been hearing really good things. Offensive line. I think read that was it Pro Focus or whatever, Football Focus, whatever, ranked them like number 8 offensive line. I know you got who is it from the center? SVP as they call him. You got looks like Tate Ratledge if he's ready. Hopefully he's ready.
Yep.
Looks like the other guy, the other guard spot is going to be who's the 2 guys?
Willock. Yeah, Willock or
Xavier Truss. That's right. And then Clinton and Broderick Jones, I think they're kind of already stamped in there. So they're kind of
yeah. I think the very middle and the edges are clear who the guys are. Tate, Tate's he's a man beast. He can come off a lens track and be who they thought he was going to be last year as a redshirt freshman. He might get. I don't know how wise it would be. The kid could leave early this year, right? Because this will be his 3rd year out of high school. And then you got Willock, who's a mammoth of a man. You got Truss, who's a mammoth of a man, but he plays like James. Look like He-Man plays like James or whatever. Look like Tarzan plays like James. Right. But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting because again, that position or that group is probably more athletic than the guys that were out there last year. Broderick Jones is way more athletic than Jamari, right? Whoever they put at left guard is going to be more athletic than Justin Schaefer, right? Whoever they put out there. And that's not a knock on him. He did what he needed to do. He got the job done, but these guys are bigger and more athletic. And then Ratledge is definitely a more athletic, bigger version than Warren Erickson, right? So I don't think nobody's gonna pump Tate, right? So it's gonna be interesting to see like how dynamic the offensive line is, how much push they get if we get those big pops. I think that was the thing that was missing last year, were those big pop runs. Like we would get some runs here and there, but like I'm so used to like the DeAndre Swift long runs, Sony Michel's, Nick Chubb's under Chaney that the last couple of years have been like, bro, where are those runs that like where we like gash them for 70 and strike up the band? You getting 20, 30-yard runs, which is good. It's still explosive, but he's like 5 here, 7 here, 10-yard pass.
Right. I agree.
Yes, I think this group could be if K-Mac is what they say he's been in camp, and Kendall Milton can avoid the soft tissue injuries and another MCL. I don't know how this team keeps hurting MCL. I don't know what he's doing in practice to hurt the MCL. Then we can see the return of the running game. I think a lot of like last year, like we had a great year, right? Won national championship, broke some records, but I think also at the same time how we played and like injuries actually it's coming back to bite us in the butt in recruiting this year because we haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher in 2 years. We haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver in forever, and I think a lot of it had to do with like certain players getting injured. Tate Ratledge getting injured. That probably hurt our continuity in the run game, right? George Pickens having an ACL in the spring. That probably stops us from having a 1,000-yard receiver.
Right.
But all that stuff plays into it.
How about a name, I guess, that, it's huge to get him out of the transfer portal, but I haven't really heard much about. How about Amarius Mims? Is he just going to be backup or is he going to be in the rotation? You just hadn't really heard his name too much.
I think he's the first guy off the bench, to be honest, at least on the outside. I mean, I think he's going to be a swing tackle. You can't teach his size and athleticism. He's 6'7", almost 6'8". He's like 3'10" coming out of high school. long arms, big dude. So hopefully, selfishly, I hope we don't need him. Right? You got a 5-star and Broderick at left. Warren McClinton's going to his 3rd year as a starter.
Right.
I would hope we don't have to see Amarius unless he's just killing in practice and somebody has to sit on the bench, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, offense, I think he's a 6th guy. Or if he's not 6, he's number 7.
Right. Yeah, I'm really excited about the offensive line. And again, then the tight end room might be the deepest in the nation.
It ain't a mic, bro. It ain't a mic, bro.
Just freaks
that
over.
room is disgusting. To be honest. Like, I'm thinking about it as a defensive player. Like, when Brock Bowers is the least intimidating guy in the room,
right?
That says something.
Right.
Brock is maybe 6'3".
Yeah.
Let's give him 6. 240. Yeah, 235, 245, 230, 240 pounds.
Right.
He runs 4.5 easily.
Right.
But you got 6'7", 270. You got 6'5", 245, 250. Running probably 4'6", 4'7". Yep, who's 6'5", 230, somewhere 235, running 4'6".
Right.
Like when your best tight end is the most diminutive guy in the group is, and then let's say he does go down. Oh, okay, great. We got 2 5-stars and a top 50 player, and dope on the bench.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, Tyler Hartley's killing it, man. Whatever he's doing in recruiting, he's the man.
He got what, Pierce Sperling and Lawson Lucky,
right?
Waiting to come in the scene next year, because we probably gonna lose too.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I'm really excited about it. Loaded room. And then at running back, I know Andrew Paul, Tanner's ACL last week was a bit of a blow. So you're down to 4. Like I said, Kim Mack, then you got Milton, who's always banged up, kind of injury prone. You got Dejon Edwards, who seems like the bona fide cigar is what they said, but he runs hard. And then Branson Robinson, who looks like Nick Chubb, but I heard he's maybe not best in pass pro. So what's your thoughts? We're like one injury away to getting a little light, right?
You know what? I think it'll make us pass the ball more,
right,
which could be good for us, right? We'll see. I think the difference is Milton and K-Mac aren't small guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think K-Mac's 6 foot, maybe 6'1", 215,
right,
210 pounds. K-Mac's 6'1", 215, 220 pounds, maybe more than that.
right.
Their issues have always been more like freaking, like, I think K-Mac dislocated his elbow last year.
Right.
Milton keeps hurting the MCL. So we'll see. I think for me, I think I said this probably before. I think we rotate too much.
Right.
So, like, I would love somebody get hurt. Cool. Do like they did Brian Robinson. Get him 300 carries. I don't care. Like, nobody on our team has had more than 120 carries in the season, 150 carries in the season. Yeah.
Right.
So what Zeus had, 800 yards last year, something like that.
Mm-hmm. James Cook was
Cook had probably like 120 carries or something like that, 130 carries. K-Mac had maybe 100. Milton had less than 60. So, like, get somebody the ball, bro. Let's see. Let's get somebody lined up. Like, we got these big dudes. Let them pound somebody. Like, ain't no tread on those tires anyway. Like, those guys these guys have been, rotating 3-4 running backs at a time for the last 2 years. I think it's time to, like, trim that rotation down to 2 guys, see if somebody needs to come in every once in a while and spill them. But, like, just 4 or 5 guys playing running back, kind of like us playing 7, 8 receivers in a game. It's unnecessary. Like, let people get in the rhythm.
Right.
I get it. We want to make sure we don't have soft tissue injuries. Nobody gets injured from overuse. I get it. It's football. You can't really. Somebody's gonna get injured. It's like karma. You're gonna get injured.
I agree. And then it really good breakdown on the running backs, and then on quarterbacks. That's been, I know, a lot of hate last year, but he got one. Definitely deserves to be number one coming in. I think he's going to have another great year. Him being 6th year in the program, he gets the spring with Montkin, gets the whole summer as being the number one guy. 25 years old, which he might be playing with a bunch of 18-year-olds. So I think a lot of experience there. So I think he's gonna do really well. I guess my question is, who have you read is maybe the most popular person on the team, the backup quarterback? Think it's going to be Beck or BBG? Heard BBG's kind of pressing a little bit.
I think it's gonna be Beck, man. You know, I think he got a wake up call last year after he thought he was the backup and he ended up not being the backup.
Yeah.
So we will see. Only time we still I've heard, I guess, the lights starting to come on for Brock Vandegrift. It better come on, because I think Gunner's a better quarterback.
Yeah.
To be honest, and I think he's a better football player. Yeah, he's short. He's maybe 6 feet. 6 feet by a hair. You know, like
the
hair standing up on his head. Yeah, but you know, I think Gunner has a better arm. I think he's a lot more sturdy. I think he's a little bit more dynamic. I don't think he's as fast as Brock, but I think he's a better thrower of the ball, right? So we'll see. Beck has everything you want in a guy to stand back there and deliver the ball. It's between the ears, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I give Stetson a hard time. Like, he's a natty winner, natty MVP, Orange Bowl MVP. Nobody can ever take that away from him, right?
Yeah.
He needs to step up. You know, I think a lot of my Hube haters or a lot of my friends think like, hey, bro, you gotta let it go. Stetson's the starter. I understand Stetson's the starter. I need Stetson to act like the starter. I need him to ball out like he's a starter, right? I would love nothing more for Stetson to be in New York. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love for him to be in New York at the end of the season, because he went out there, threw for close to yards, ran for 400 yards, over 30 downs, crazy QBR, kept the 10 yards per attempt, all that stuff. I would love for that to happen, right? Because that means we open up our offense. We're clicking on all cylinders, and we're throttling people. But if you can't get it done, one of those young guys got to get it done.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I think it's a much easier position to not be the guy, because if you aren't the guy and you come in and everything you do is gravy, right? If you kill it, you're gravy. He was playing with house money last year, right?
All right.
Now all expectations are on him, right? You're the guy, 60 years, like you said, 25 years old. I don't know if he's 25, but he's pretty damn old. This is your first off season as a full-time starter, getting most of the first team reps. You come out there and lay duds. I mean, it's not that people are going to take away from the fact that you were a natty winner, but people aren't going to be okay with him laying duds. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are.
Right.
It's going to be like, Beck, Brock, who coming out there? We trying to repeat.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I know I put a lot of hate on the kid last year, but he earned it, like you said, and excited for him. Hope he does pretty well. I think getting Montkin one more year is great. He's the mastermind. Every year we get him's a blessing. So I think he can make a difference. So yeah, I'm really excited. Back to the game really quick. I'm gonna make a pick. I know it's 17 points for me. What's your final score again?
Yeah. Me, I'm gonna go 8-13.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm right around there too. I think it's going to be close. I can see it being close in the first half, maybe 14-10, 14-7 Georgia. And I think we got more talent, and Kirby and those guys make adjustments. But I'm gonna go 31-14, pretty close on the push. Since it's opening weekend, I wouldn't really touch it, but if I had to, I'd maybe take Oregon in points just because Georgia might come out slow. And like you said, I don't think he'll drop the hammer on Dan Lanning because that's his former guy there. So yeah, I'm with you. Moving on, real quick look at Georgia's schedule. Just wanted to see what your maybe prediction if you see any landmines in there. Another stat I wanted to throw out that I heard is coming from last year, which is interesting. There's only 2 teams that won over 8 games last year that they're playing on the
schedule.
That's right, Oregon, and then our beloved Kentucky. Probably talk about that game. So that's very interesting. So very favorable schedule coming off the national championship.
Yeah, that thing looked like an FCS schedule, low key. But we'll see. We got South Carolina at South Carolina. At Spencer Rattler. So they finally let's see what he can do. I think Josh Van came back. They got some playmakers. I don't know that they got the depth of the overall talent to withstand for a whole game.
Also, noon game. We might come out there a little. It might be hot. Come out a little slow, right? A little, noon game.
Might be. Yeah. It might be.
It'll be hot too.
Be. You got I don't trust Auburn to do anything. Vandy, not a thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna see about Florida. I don't see it. I don't know what they selling down there. They're selling snake oil to start recruiting so well in the first year. But I'm just not a fan. I'm not a believer in Anthony Richardson. After what he did last year, I don't know. I can't see it. The only one that actually had me like, okay, I could see the hiccup is Tennessee.
Really?
They got Tillman. They got Jalen Hyatt. The offense is dynamic. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think because it's in Stanford,
that helps.
That it helps, right? I don't know that I would be as comfortable with that game if it was in Knoxville. One, because I hate that field. My friend used to work for Tennessee, so like I've been in the facilities and everything. That field is garbage.
Oh yeah. So many injuries.
But yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see a loss on the schedule. I see some games that might be tighter than people think they should be.
Right.
Like Bama versus Auburn last year, Bama versus LSU last year. There might be some games like that with like Kentucky or Mississippi State,
right.
or Tennessee. At the back end of the season, there's injuries. What is that? How many games you got on the road in the back half of the season? You got Jacksonville, Starkville, Kentucky. You got three of your last 4 conference games on the road, basically. Right. So we will see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know a lot of people are picking them 12-0. I just think it's so hard to go 12-0 historically. So I'm in that 10-2, 11-1. But I just think, like you said, this gauntlet right here is going to be tough. Could be banged up. A lot of people are saying like at Mississippi State or Kentucky. I would say, just being honest, one of those, maybe drop one of them. Might be cold in this game at Kroger Field with the beer necks or whatever they call them. So I just think with these guys, like people figure them out eventually. I think you rush 3, do cover 8, and this you kind of got them all on film. But 2020 they lit us up and scared us to death. You got Will Rogers. They're gonna throw everything. You got the Cowbells. Could be a night game. I think historically we've struggled there. So I would say one of these. Kentucky. Yeah,
I can see that. I think, but they were killing us with the wheel route. They were killing us with the wheel route the week after we played. What was it? The week after we played Florida, right? Or 2 weeks after we played Florida. I don't think that's gonna work again. Like I think Kirby learned his lesson. But the thing is, with Champ as the D coordinator, interesting to see like how the defense plays, right? co-D coordinator. I think Kent actually might be more aggressive, which is interesting, than Dan Lanning. Because I think Dan is very aggressive. I think last year we played a lot of zone. I think we played a lot of zone concepts.
Right.
But I think this defense is going to look a little different. Champ, probably up there calling plays.
All right. Gotcha. I'm gonna go 11-1 and probably going to play Bama again. There'll be another storyline. So I'll say 11-1, but I can see 10-2 on the back end. Just don't go 9-3. There'd be a meltdown. But
yeah, I can't see 10-2.
Yeah,
I don't see it. But
I agree.
Hey, from your guy, like if you predict that, you Nostradamus. Who are your two losses?
I think on the back end, I mean, if you like maybe make a prediction, I'm gonna say 11-1 because of this stretch, but I just think maybe Kentucky or Mississippi State, and then maybe Tennessee or Florida. I know we kind of got their number, but I guess I'd go 11-1. But like I said, 10-2, but that'd be a down year. We might damn end up in the Citrus Bowl or Sugar Bowl or hell, one of those.
Yeah.
But I think the only way we'd have to repeat last year is go 12-0 and you lose the close one to Bama and try to get back our way in the playoffs. That's the only way. I don't think you get in with 2 losses. But
yeah, I think the pressure don't get to Bama. Honestly, I haven't looked at Bama's schedule, but other than who do they play to start the season?
I think it's like Utah State.
Texas?
That second game's in Texas. Quentin Ewers.
Okay. I think Bama's schedule.
Look at them, by the way. I can get it up right here. You got Utah State.
So they at Arkansas. Yeah, A&M coming in. They're gonna be garbage. I'm sorry.
They circled out one.
I do not believe it. I think they're gonna be a blowout. I think they're gonna get. You ever heard of Pooh Shiesty?
Right.
I think Bama gonna get it back and put it on A&M in Tuscaloosa. But I could see Arkansas sneaking one in on Alabama randomly in Fayetteville.
This is a tough little golf right here. They could just be banged up. Hey, another thing, if Bryce Young went down, they got 5 stars never played. You never know. Looks like Cam Newton, right?
You got Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
I'm not a believer in Ty Simpson, but I know Bama fans will be like, well, you didn't believe in Will Henderson or whatever. But yeah, like I just think the hype is like out of this world for this team. Like you have Bryce Young, you got Will Anderson. But who else do you have? Like that, I'll give you Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner is a beast, right?
You got those transfer type receivers, everybody. You got Burton, man, who let's see if he lasts the whole year, right? No offense to him.
So I'm a Burton fan, right? I was thoroughly upset when he left because I think he brings a dynamic to our offense that we need. He's a speed guy. He's tough. I don't think we have that speed element outside of maybe Ladd in the receiver group right now because Aaron Smith is the most snake bit fast guy I've ever seen in my life in the SEC.
I agree.
But I think from the perspective of Burton's one player. I'm not a believer in Trayshawn Holden.
Uh-huh.
He hasn't done anything to make me be a believer in. What's the kid's name? Corey Brooks. If he's backing up Trayshawn, what's going on? Like, he's a 5-star. Trayshawn was barely a 4-star. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that those things really matter, but it's like I don't see them being as dynamic on offense because none of those guys are Mechie level. I think Burton is close to Mechie, but like Mechie is just consistent. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if consistently going to be consistently that guy. He's not a Jameson Williams, so I would say Burton is more of a who would I compare Burton to? Burton is Brian Edwards.
Okay.
somebody like that, like
Right.
a really like a big, a fast guy, dynamic guy, but like if he by himself, I'm not that worried, right? Like, um, so it'll be interesting to see how they are on offense because if they're relying on Jahmyr Gibbs, who for all the hype behind him, he wasn't killing it at Georgia Tech. Like not to say that Georgia Tech is this great team, but their line isn't that great either. So like if anybody can like hold up against the point of attack, like that offensive line is still sewage water. Their D line is sewage water. So people are going to be able to stop and run on them. People are going to be able to run on them. I'm not a believer in Tua. I thought he was overrated when he was at Tennessee. I thought he was overrated when he transferred to Alabama, and he looked overrated in the postseason, right? And so, but the secondary is hell. I think the secondary is gonna be nice, man. But I think people are gonna be able to run on them. I think they're not gonna be able to run as well as they think they are, just because of Gibbs.
Right.
I think the sleeper is gonna be Jason McClellan coming off of ACL. He actually was the more dynamic of the two running backs last year between him and Brian Robinson until he tore his ACL. Because he was like, I want to say he was like third on the team. He was doing something dynamic out of the backfield with the ball, right? So we'll see. I don't know that Bama is going to get to Atlanta unscathed either.
Yeah, like I said, tough schedule. We will see. But I guess if you're a bet man, it would be Georgia Alabama rematch, but we will see.
Yeah. Okay. We can do that. We need to get it back in blood. Well, Bama.
Exactly.
We need our lick back from last year.
Want to give a shout out to Talking Dogs. They're nice enough to let us post again. Talking Dogs has the coffee shop commit to the G, got their own swag, film study where we are. So if you want anything about Georgia football related, great forum there. So check out talkingdogs.com. They're a great partner of the show. And real quick, want to hit a couple of the games, rapid fire coming at you. Great matchup, interesting. You got number 7 Utah going to the Swamp in Florida. Got to go travel across the country. 3-point spread. They got Anthony Richardson. I guess we can't call him AR-15 anymore. The whole gun, But they have that Cameron Rising who lit up a good Ohio State team in Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Napier, like you said, I think he said this is the least stressful job he's ever had. I'm thinking, hey, lose this game and let Georgia put a ass whipping on you. That'll be interesting. See how you feel after that. But what's your thoughts on this? This could be really interesting. But it is going to be in the Swamp. They're going to be all pumped up at night, so it could be a good game.
You need to use. I got to use the cover.
You like it? All right. What are they going to say about Billy Napier if he loses this one? Like, you lost to a Pac-12 school, bad start.
But they have smash mouth team. I don't know that Florida's ready for smash mouth.
All right.
They're not a true Pac-12 team.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
See.
Yeah. What's your prediction on that if you had to pick?
Like the score?
Yeah. I guess it's Utah -3.
I'd probably say 21-17.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that too. I think Cameron Rising late touchdown, and they got too many athletes. Maybe contain Anthony Richardson, even though I heard he had a really good spring and summer. I'm gonna go 28-24 Utah. So the Gators go down and they start feeling the loser bird already. And then one last one, the game of the week, I believe it's game day. Got number 5 Notre Dame going to the Shoe at Ohio State, 17.5 point spread, prime time, probably game of the week, 7:30 on ABC.
Ohio State big.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be close early. Ohio State's gonna put away. You got a lot of dynamic athletes, bro, on offense. I don't know if Notre Dame is gonna be able to keep up with them. You got Travion Henderson, you got the receivers. I think this game could be ugly in the second half. So I'm going to go Buckeyes 38. Notre Dame 24.
Yeah. See, 38-20. Yeah, I could see that too. I'm gonna go. Maybe Notre Dame hangs around. Plus a new coach coming over, maybe unproven. Quarterback's not there. You got CJ Stroud and all those wide receivers just deadly. I'm gonna go like 45-27, something like that. Just start airing it out.
Okay.
Could be wrong, but we'll
All
see.
right.
Plus at
Yeah, no.
Ohio State.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I mean, they were the dangerous team down the stretch. I hate to say, Georgia didn't want to play them, but hey, Michigan punched them in the mouth, and then we destroyed Michigan as matchups. So I hope that I do hope. One thing I will say, I hope, I know they got the Oklahoma State DC. I hope they figure out that defense. If not, could be more problems. Got to stop people.
Yeah, this ain't the Big 12, so we'll see.
So also wanted to say, please rate and subscribe and hit the notification bell for help us out on that. And make sure and check out our sponsors. Got Viva Seltzer and Talking Dogs. Anything you want to get off your chest, Hube? And I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Yeah, man. Let's go Dogs. 12-0. Natty repeaters.
There you go. Sounds good, man.
Go.
All right, buddy. Hey, thanks for coming on, and Herschel Talkers, and we're out.
Thanks for having me.
You too. Thank you.